I'm Leslie Jones. You can follow me and subscribe on YouTube at I am Leslie Jones, IG at I am Leslie Jones, Twitter at I am Leslie Jones, but YouTube is my main playground. My coconut hut was built in Central Region, close to Salt Pond, which is about 2.5 hours from Accra. And the reason I did it was to save money and to live sustainable, because I wanted to see what it was like to live like my ancestors, well, to get as close as possible. And my community built it from coconut leaves. So there's trees on my property, but the trees are the communities. So we had to get permission to build, to use the leaves from the trees, and the unity through community. We came together and we built that thing, right? So my neighbor BK, he designed it, and then literally the neighbors around where my property is, they built it as well. Handcrafted. I mean, this weaving technique, as they were weaving, I'm like, they could probably weave some hair, right? I was like, let me take my braids out so you can weave my hair, you know? And it was just it was impressive. The craftsmanship, the attention to detail, they just knew what they were doing. You can tell this is a skill that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. And that community is hundreds of years old, just like the trees, you know? And so I knew that I was gonna go out to Ghana temporarily on my land to build my walls. And I said, you know, I wanna live on my land. I want to get to know my community. But when I leave, I want the smallest footprint I can leave. And that is where the coconut hut came into play. Because I know it's still there, actually. And I know when it's time for it to be broken down, you won't even know I was there, right? And so my experience was pretty dramatic, because I'm a city girl and I threw myself into a coconut hut. What? So there were some creatures in my coconut hut, and the community had to help me get them out. One was, I called it a chupacabra, but it was a mouse that was in my toilet. So they had to help me with that. There's 2 crabs. They had to help me with that. And thank goodness I had a net over my bed. You know, the community gave me that too, to protect myself from mosquitoes. And that really gave me peace to sleep at night. So if, you know, anything did come in, I knew it wasn't gonna just follow me directly. So thank goodness for the net. I had solar panels on the roof because I wanted to be off grid, but I still want to charge my cell phone, you hear me? So I had the solar panels on the roof, and that's how I was able to stay in contact with the world. I had water. I had the water company come out and bring that, and I had no electricity. And I could have had electricity if, you know, I could have just put a cable through to my neighbors, which they were willing to do. But I was like, you know what, let me just live off grid. So I ate whole foods, you know, whole pineapple, whole watermelon, you know, I had my snacks. And if I wanted a real meal, I would just go to my neighbor's house and cook it. But for the most part, I was sustainable when it came to my food too, because I am plant-based. And I said, well, I'm gonna go all the way. Because I had no refrigeration, so I had to eat just fruits and whole foods. And because I knew, like I said, I wanted my footprint to be small. Guess what? I had neighborhood goats. So when I ate a pineapple or I ate a watermelon, I would just throw it a little bit far from my coconut hut. The goats would come and eat it. So I'm like, yes, right? Small, low footprint. And it was amazing, because I just saw like the cycle of life when we decide to live with nature. And I gotta tell you, I didn't sleep well for probably the first 2 weeks of me living in the coconut hut. My body didn't adapt to about a week before I left back to the United States. So once I passed that, I don't even know what it was, like a mental block. Once I passed that, it was smooth sailing. But by the time I hit that, it was time for me to go home. And I'm so glad I had that experience. It's checked off my bucket list. I would not do it again because it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. If I had to do it, I could. Like I said, towards the end, my body adapted, because I was barely sleeping. I was waking up like at 2 a.m. every day. But the last week I was there, I was waking up between 6 and 7. So my body was like, okay, we understand what we're doing now. And it adjusted. So if I had to do it, I could. Do I want to? No. But I'm glad I did it.